Honor Sansby, and welcome to Thanet Writers meets Setareh Ebrahimi, author of the pamphlet In My Arms by Bad Betty Press. Hello, Setareh.
Hi.
So obviously your writing tends to balance the romantic and the macabre.
Yeah.
This is quite a romantically driven collection.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of led down that avenue?
Yeah, well, I had a lot of work built up and it dealt with, all of my work was romantic and macabre, but when I sent it off it was very much kind of like an editor's pick, so what ended up in the book and the versions that ended up in the book were very much two people kind of working together, so that's kind of how it came about really, and it's more of a romantic book than anything else, but I think that's down to the selection process really rather than what I write, but then I do write a lot of romantic poems, so I don't know, yeah.
I think it's an often understated part of putting together a collection, the relationship between the writer and the editor.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Did you know your editor before you...
I didn't know, but I did really enjoy working with her because I felt like we had really different approaches and maybe like different personalities as well, for like from where some of my ideas were just too, I don't know, like risky or too like, I don't know, over sexualized or like just some like wacky stuff, like she was there to balance that out, and then but then if there was something that I really wanted to bring out, I did that. So I'm just so happy to be happy with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I look at it like when I first picked it up and I read it for the first time, I just felt that relief, like I'm happy, like, so that was good.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting part of the actual building of a collection, seeing how what we road test, as it were, and the printed
so much
version.
road testing gone on. Like all the performances that I've done over the last year have, you know, been road testing and stuff, and you know, it's almost scary to think that you could even be taking lines out and putting lines in at such a late stage because you lived with those poems for so long that it's actually terrifying, and you look back and you think, were these bad? Like, how have I not seen this for so long? And it's just, you know, sometimes it feels like you've got nothing left, like it's just sand going through your fingers, and when something finally comes together, it's like, it's just weird, it's just strange.
It's a very unnerving sort of experience. I think as a performer, we find lines that don't work audibly, but they work on the page.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you say that you're more performer or page poetry based?
I would say it's definitely more page, not to say that I don't love performing now and I don't love, you know, the community that I found through performing. It's so crucial to me, it's now such an integral part of my life, and I've enjoyed doing events and would like to do them in the future, but I think at the heart of my writing it's definitely on the page. I think that's just how I got into it, that's just because I was writing for so long before I ever started performing. So yeah, I would say it's more on the page.
Yeah, I think obviously as a performer you excel as well. I think good page poetry can't help but be good performance poetry.
Yeah, that's a very good point actually. I think that's true.
In a lot of ways. Not to say all the time a page poem works as a performed poem. I mean, if you take a lot of what's written through the slam scene, I don't think that would work as well on the page, and you get into a whole debate on that side of things. Obviously your work's more influenced by the classical.
Yeah, I think for me, I always go back to the same writers, and I know every poet I know has their writing hero, and I know yours is Charles Bukowski and mine is Sylvia Plath, and it's always going to be like that, and she's the person that inspires me most, and I can read her work again and again and keep getting things out of it. But I've been trying to diversify my reading over this year and not get frustrated, not get annoyed, and just take everything in, you know. So
do you have a certain approach on building metaphors? It's something that really shines in your work.
Thank you. Like, I've been told that it's sometimes like too much, so, but I don't know, like, this sounds like really pretentious and maybe it's not true, but I feel like I think in metaphors, like I feel like I'll just look at something and I'll think that looks like something else, and it's just a way to figure that thing out, like, you know, and it's just cool to think what things are similar and what sensations are similar and just think about stuff, and it just comes naturally out of that to just, and when you read poetry, things seem unusual and they jump out at you and you think, oh wow, cool, like I could think like that, like.
Yeah. Let's talk individual poems. The Ghost in Berlin.
Yeah.
What drew that poem out?
Well, I was in Berlin and I was experiencing a spike in moods, as one can do, and I was getting these euphoria spikes, you know, the summer spikes, I call them. Actually, I want to make that into a poem later. And I kind of had things that were going on at home, you know, everyone has things going on, and I asked the universe for a sign. And I feel like I shouldn't do that a lot, but I feel like you should really pick the moments where you ask the universe for a sign. Like, I almost did it again recently, and I was like, you can't keep asking the universe for signs. You know the answer. Only ask when you really don't know. And I asked for a sign, and then this person just appeared who looked exactly like someone I knew, and let's not say in love, let's say obsessed with. And I was just like, the sign. The call has been answered. And the rest is sort of what follows. But I just try to understand my psychological state and my thinking process in that poem. Yeah.
So it's an exploration of the idea of being in love rather than the process of. I know a lot of people write on the concept of what love is, but it's more a personal rendition of it.
Yeah, I just like exploring individual moments. I think it's just nice to capture them in poems. It's just like taking pictures, really. It's just nice to think, it's like just taking a more detailed picture. And I'm so removed from Berlin, the holiday, the guy, the mood, but it's just cool to have a snapshot.
Yeah, I think distance is a huge part of putting together a poem out of that kind of experience. It's that kill your darlings mentality.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I don't think I use them to move on psychologically, or maybe I do. I think I use them to hold on. But I think I use them to figure things out and use them to just think what remains. So I just try and get a bigger idea out of them. Like, I try and have one sentence in it that's like, this is what this means, and maybe it could mean something to other people.
So you come from an academic poetry background.
Yeah.
You have a master's degree.
Yeah.
I don't think many poets on the local scene have gone through the process of acquiring. What sort of advice?
It's totally useless. Study is a waste of time. It won't get you anything. I remember my friend, he's a poet, he's a very good local poet, and he said, my degree was very useful when I was a toilet cleaner, and it's true. I feel like I spent so long wanting to do what I'm doing now, and I would ask people for advice, and then they'd sort of be like, oh well, you just need to see how it goes. And I think that's a load of rubbish. If someone said to me, what would I do to do poetry now, I would give them a point by point thing, and I would say, go to open mic nights, get to know people, engage with their work, present yours, and really follow the steps. Find a good local publisher or a small indie press that you feel connected to, and pitch yourself correctly and submit to journals and go to workshops, go to classes, and there is a way to do things. Anything in life, when you look at it, there is a way. Apart from love. Love makes no sense. But, everything else, there is a way to do things,
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Setareh's book, In My Arms, is available through Bad Betty Press, directly through their website, or through Setareh at gigs around Kent.
Yeah, I'm a salesman, travelling salesman.
The way that a poet has to
be.
But thank you very much for joining me. I've been Connor Sansby, and this has been Thanet Writers Meet Setareh Ebrahimi.